What is going on, everybody? I know this is a weird angle. I'm still working out how I'm gonna film. Anyway, I am late this week because this week has been rough, but it's Will, and I'm gonna be chatting with you guys on Tuesdays. So this week's topic was about American politics, and I understand that that's not everybody's forte, but as a trans man, transgender run channel, I think it's important to talk about things that affect our everyday lives. And unfortunately, being trans is a political statement, and politics affect our lives. So hopefully you saw everybody else's videos this week conquering kind of Trump as a person, Trump's politics, American politics, effects on other countries, and how to remain human and kind of feel human still in these polarized times. So those are all those are great topics. But I am here to talk to you about November. And if you don't know, because you haven't voted, or maybe just never paid attention, or you weren't old enough, or whatever the case may be, we have an election coming up in November, and it is so important that you go vote. And I am not here to tell you who to vote for. Everybody is entitled to their own opinions. I work with many people that have very different political views than me. I go to school with people with different political views than me. I do not care who you vote for. I just care that you vote. So please make sure that you are registered to vote, and make sure that you really understand what you're voting for. There are not just two parties. I know America is a two-party system because the Republican and the Democratic Party pretty much own all of our elections. However, they don't have to. If you disagree with the mainstream political parties, please feel free to vote third party. Vote your conscience if that suits you. Find the candidate that speaks to the platform and speaks to the issues that you agree with. Find someone that you agree with the most. Vote for them. If you are voting mainstream and you don't like either of our current options, because let's face it, they're not the greatest, you can always look for vice presidential candidates. You can also focus on the other races, which are just as important, if not more important. We especially have a Senate that could use a makeover. Senate races coming up this year, some big ones. House terms, everybody in the House is up for re-election. 2-year terms there. Senate's 6 years, so some senators, not all the senators. We have some mainstream, pretty big races all over the country for different Senate races, different House of Representative races. Feel free to donate to candidates that you like, both in your districts and across the country. Support the candidates in any way you can. I actually worked with a local House candidate in the spring. I'm a political science student, so I was involved in that campaign. So I myself have experience with phone banking and kind of with campaign life. Of course, coronavirus kind of put hindrance on our efforts, and I had my own mental turmoil and some other personal issues caused by the pandemic and other things. So she still has my full support, the candidate that I worked for going into the election cycle. It was great talking to people in the district about their concerns and about how they felt about her, and our current incumbent that she is running against. It was great to run it through the primary. Definitely looking forward to the general and for her success. So that's an option. If you have a candidate locally that you really like, reach out, see if you can get involved. They're always looking for volunteers. I can definitely tell you that. They're looking for donations, looking for time. That's really what it takes to make a successful campaign. So basically what I want you guys to take away from this video, and it won't be very long, and I'm going to try to wrap this up. Just understand the importance of voting. That is one of those things that is very key to being an American citizen. Unfortunately for many people, they get that right taken away at some point in their life, and they don't always get it back. But this is where it starts. Don't just look at the big picture. Of course, national politics, very important. Your presidential, your Senate, your House of Representatives. Those are super important elections, but please pay attention to your local elections. Figure out when those are. What do you know about your mayor? What do you know about your aldermans? Do you know anybody in your very small city officials? Do you know them? Because while our national elected representatives, senators, and our president do take care of our interests on a very large level, they impact, Supreme Court justices. They have executive order power. Your Congress has power to make laws. I mean, just really understand the process. I think it's missing from a lot of American education. People don't really know what they're voting for. And while those are important, your local officials are super important. Look into your local nonprofits, look into local organizations, see how you can make an impact and make the changes that you want to see in your neighborhood. Don't leave it all up to the national level. There is so much that can be done at the local level, and sometimes I think that escapes our minds, especially in election cycles. So this is your Tuesday guy, Will, the political science student, reminding everybody to please make sure you are registered to vote. Figure out what you need to do either on election day for early voting, for mail-in voting, absentee voting, whatever type of voting you're going to partake in. Please make sure that you know everything that you need to do to get that taken care of. To my trans friends that may have a name change, address change, make sure all of those things are in order so that when you show up on election day or you go to do your mail-in vote or you go to early vote, that you are able to vote and make your voice heard. And hopefully, we see the changes in the country that we desperately need. So that is me. This is your election reminder. It's coming up. We're under 100 days away from the election. November will be here before you know it. And you'll be stuck with me and seeing my face for the weeks up until that and hopefully after. So I hope everybody has had a great week. I'm sorry I'm late. I'll be back in a few days on my actual day on Tuesday, and I will see you then. Bye.